Amidst the vast expanse of the Indonesian archipelago, a giant island stands as if it were a natural fortress, Kalimantan, or internationally known as Borneo. Long before humans knew it, it was the largest tropical rainforest in Asia. Kalimantan has been the stage for a long journey of civilization, starting from the time when humans still lived with stone tools, through the era of great kingdoms, colonialism, and finally becoming an important part of modern Indonesian identity. Thousands of years ago, long before recorded history, Kalimantan was inhabited by early human groups. Evidence such as stone axes, flake tools, and cave paintings in East Kalimantan indicate that the island has been home to humans since prehistoric times. In the interior caves, the ancestors of Borneo carved symbols of life, handprints, animal images, and natural motifs. In the silence of these stone caves, the earliest stories of Borneo are carefully preserved. It is estimated that thousands of years later, a large wave of Austronesian migration arrived from Taiwan and the Philippines, then spread throughout the Indonesian archipelago, including Kalimantan. From this wave emerged the groups now known as the Dayak people, guardians of the jungle who live in harmony with nature. The Dayak people are spread across the island, forming hundreds of sub-tribes with distinct languages, traditional houses, and rituals. They build longhouses, practice customs such as the Gawai, traditional ritual, and even headhunting ceremonies, which were once part of a customary and honor system. They were not only hunters, but also field farmers, wood craftsmen, river explorers, and jungle readers. Around the 4th to 10th centuries, the influence of Hindu-Buddhist kingdoms from Java and Sumatra penetrated Kalimantan. Seaborne trade enabled the island's coast to develop into a center of international interaction. In this phase, the early kingdoms emerged: Kutai Matadapura Kingdom, one of the oldest Hindu kingdoms in the archipelago, standing around the Mahakam River, East Kalimantan. The legacy is a Yupa inscription written in Pallava script and Sanskrit. Kings such as Maharaja Mulawarman were noted as generous leaders who held large ceremonies. The Banjar Kingdom in South Kalimantan, another major kingdom, was the Banjar Sultanate, which began as a local Hindu kingdom and then became an Islamic empire. Sultan Suryansia was a key figure in the Islamization of South Kalimantan. From here, the trade in pepper, rattan, and forest products flourished. Other coastal kingdoms. Many small kingdoms emerged along the coast, such as the Sambas Kingdom, the Pontianak Kingdom, the Barao Kingdom, and the Kutai Kartanegara Kingdom, later period. Each grew from a mixture of Malay, Dayak, Chinese, and foreign trader cultures. International trade routes. Kalimantan is not a remote island. On the contrary, for hundreds of years, this island has been an important stopover. Chinese, Indian, Arab, and later European traders came seeking camphor, diamonds, rattan, resin, swallows' nests, spices, ironwood, and various hardwoods. The great rivers, Capuas, Mahakam, Barito, became golden routes that opened up the interior to trade and culture. The arrival of Europeans and the colonial period in the 16th to 19th centuries, Europeans began to arrive. The Portuguese stopped by, traded. The English took over several territories for a short time. The Dutch eventually dominated. The Dutch established a colonial system in the coastal areas and areas under the control of local kingdoms. However, the interior of Kalimantan, especially the Dayak forest areas, remained difficult to conquer. Many local figures became famous for their struggles, such as Prince Antasari, who led the resistance in Banjar, Prince Dapadianam, and other Dayak figures who protected the interior. Colonialism left its mark in the form of coal mining, plantation expansion, and economic changes in coastal areas. World War II and independence. When Japan entered in 1942, Kalimantan became one of the areas most severely affected by the occupation. Many local people and royal figures were executed by the Japanese, particularly in the major tragedy in West Kalimantan, which involved the massacre of Malay community leaders and aristocrats. In 1945, after the proclamation of Indonesian independence, the struggle of the people of Kalimantan continued to ensure that their territory was united with Indonesia and free from the remnants of colonial power. Kalimantan in modern Indonesia. After independence, Kalimantan developed into several provinces: West Kalimantan, Central Kalimantan, South Kalimantan, East Kalimantan, and North Kalimantan, the youngest province, established in 2012. Kalimantan is the center of natural resources: coal, oil, gas. Forest products, wood, rattan. Culture, Dayak, Banjar, Malay. Kalimantan today, a land of legends that lives on despite the ongoing pace of modernization, Kalimantan retains a mystical and majestic aura. Its dense forests are still home to orangutans, proboscis monkeys, clouded leopards, hornbills, sun bears, deer, ruai birds, and other species. Its rivers remain the lifeblood of our nation, connecting cities to remote villages. Kalimantan is more than just history. It's a living story that continues to unfold today. Every river carries tales of the past, and every breeze in the jungle holds secrets of an era yet to be fully unraveled. In a time when the world was young and the forests of Borneo were untouched by humans, a great kingdom stood on the banks of the Mahakam River. The kingdom was called Kutai Matadipura, ruled by a wise king named Maharaja Kadunga. But long before the king was recorded in history, the jungle elders believed that Kutai's power stemmed from an ancient legend, a legend told only when campfires were burning and the nights were still. The legend is about Princess Oja Pedang, a powerful woman who is believed to be the ancestor of the kings in the land of Kutai. 1. Princess of the Forest Sky. It is said that one silent night, as moonlight fell through the gaps between the ancient ironwood trees, an old Dayak hunter saw a strange light fall from the sky. The light landed in a crevice near a hidden waterfall. From the dimming light emerged a girl with a gentle face, yet exuded a dignity unbecoming of ordinary humans. She wore a bark garment that shimmered like gold. Her hair was long, black, like banyan roots descending from the sky. "Who are you?" asked the hunter. "I am Oja Pedang, princess of the upper world. I come to maintain the balance of this jungle," she replied calmly. 2. Oja Pedang and the guardians of the forest. Oja Pedang is no ordinary human. He has the ability to communicate with forest spirits and the animals that guard the forest. The elders believe he is accompanied by the giant hornbill, the guardian of the forest sky, the cloud-faced leopard, a mystical clouded leopard that can disappear like mist, the Mahakam River Dragon, an ancient creature that guards the water flow. Under the protection of Oja Pedang, the forests of Kalimantan become sacred land. No one dares to damage the ironwood trees or cut down trees indiscriminately, for every action carries a retribution from the guardians. 3. The love of Oja Pedang and the Jungle Prince. One day, Oja Pedang met a brave young man from a remote tribe named Prince Marajang. This young man was renowned as a top hunter, capable of walking for days without leaving a trace. However, when he saw Oja Pedang, he was touched by a charm he had never experienced before. Their bond blossomed in the silence of the jungle. They spoke of nature, guardian spirits, and a future that could only be maintained through balance. However, this relationship unsettled the forest spirits. A princess from the upper world should not be united with a human from Earth. They feared that it would upset the balance of the world. 4. Test of the Waders. The jungle guards gave Marajang 3 tests. The first test, he had to fight Belangawan, a supernatural clouded leopard that could vanish from the real world. The young man didn't fight it with a sword, but instead showed courage and respect. Belangawan submitted. The second test, he had to carry water from the highest spring, guarded by hundreds of ironwood tree spirits. Marajang went with a pure heart, and the spirits allowed him to pass. The third test, he had to face the Mahakam Dragon, guardian of the ancient river, but it wasn't strength that was required, it was sincerity. Marajang prostrated himself and promised to protect the forest for the rest of his life. The dragon agreed. After passing these 3 tests, the forest guardians finally approved their relationship. 5. The birth of the Kutai dynasty. Legend has it that from the union of Oja Pedang and Marajang, descendants who would become the first kings of Kutai were born. Oja Pedang then disappeared, returning to the underworld, while Marajang established the first settlement that would become the forerunner of the great Mahakam kingdom. It is said that the blood of Oja Pedang flows in the descendants of the Kutai kings, giving them strong authority and a special relationship with nature. This legend is not just a story, but a message. The forest is not a place to be dominated, but a place to be respected.
Tadi kijangnya ada di bawah ya, dia tidak mau naik ke atas karena saya sudah terlalu sore ya teman-teman. Tadi kalian bisa mendengar ya suara kijang yang di bawah itu. Saya ini posisinya di atas bukit teman-teman, kurang lebih 200 meter dari jalan, sehingga kedengaran suara motor ya, motor mobil itu kedengaran. Di tempat ini saya sudah 2 kali dapatnya teman-teman. Kemudian yang tidak dapat itu kurang lebih ada 5 kali ya, ketemu cuman tidak tertembak. Oke sobat Kasmalindo, terima kasih sudah menonton ya. Jangan bosan-bosan untuk memberikan komentar dan saran. Kita ketemu lagi di video selanjutnya. Thank you.